Welcome, my fine people. Today we are going to be discussing fragrances that channel that summertime feeling. I'm here with my boy SB, and the fragrances we chose truly invokes that energy. Well, like always, let me start it off right. You already know. And then let me welcome my boy SB to the building. Go ahead, let him know, SB.
What's going on, party
Speak.
people? This is SB, the scent bubble, aka the scientist, aka the professor. I break a fragrance down to the molecule, and I'm here with my boy Kix to hit y'all with some summer heat. And let me tell you, the roster is stacked. We doing 10 bangers. If Kix said, "Dude, let's do three apiece." I said, "All right." A couple hours later, nah, do four. 2 minutes later, nah, do five. So we're gonna hit y'all with 10 today. He said, "Hey, let's get it."
You know what? And on that note, great. I'm happy. This is going to be very exciting, people. I haven't done this before. And who not better than to do it with my brother? So, SB, kick off your first fragrance and talk to us and let us know why you picked it and go into the spill.
Okay. Now, I understand that everybody is not where I'm from. And so we're going to be speaking real generally. This ain't going to apply everywhere. But when I think summertime, I think Will Smith. Summer, summer, summertime. You know what I mean? We talking barbecue, we talking pool party, we talking watching the games, you know what I mean? Just having a
Exactly.
good time. Even if you're crazy strapped on work and stuff like that, I think of sunshine, I think of the water, and I think of nature even, you know what I mean? Just kind of paradise, whether you're in it,
Yeah.
you can create it with the scent. And so when I got in my bag, I was thinking of the elements and in the hot heat. I'm in Arizona, so it's year-round hotness. You know what I mean? There's a couple months out of the year you get it cold, so it's technically summertime year-round. So, yeah, I wanted to bring some versatility to this, and so um, I actually have this bottle coming in, but I'm actually going to show you guys a dupe, a clone for the first fragrance. Start us off with something light. Um, we talked about this before. When it comes to fragrances that go good in the heat, good out in the sun, I typically either go on two sides of the fence. One, I'm thinking of masculine plus slight sweetness, and that can be achieved any which way. Or I'm thinking um, masculine solely. But within those contexts, I'm thinking light, bright, happy, fun, pleasant, somewhat seductive in some cases, but mostly just evoke the energy of excitement, but easygoingness, playfulness by a little bit, but still that masculine touch. I think this is absolutely signature to me. And the fragrance I'm going to start us off with is Valencia Uomo Intense, which is an iteration of Valentino Uomo Intense. I'm going to put this up here. This is along the lines of something like a Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, but the main difference is the iris. I always talk about three holy grail iris fragrances, gentlemen in the designer world at least. Gentleman Reserve Privé, Dior Homme Intense, and to me, Valentino Uomo Intense. Dior Homme Intense is your seductive, romantic killer. Um, your Gentleman Reserve Privé is your romantic killer, but I think that one leans a little bit more equally masculine, whereas Dior plays into the feminine a bit. It's like wearing pastels, is how I like to call it. But the great thing about Valentino Uomo Intense is it's not completely romantic. It's mainly a fresh, classy, but playful scent. But you get the best of both worlds because with the introduction of iris, you start to get the textural component of that powdery, lipsticky iris, but maybe a third or half of the intensity of what you would get in like a Dior Homme. So it's a lot softer and it's kind of a hybrid fragrance to me. It's fresh, it's classy, it's slightly fun due to the playfulness of the iris and the vanilla. But then it can lean into, so for me, it's like midday creeping into sundown, sunset. And it could even go into the date category. So it's kind of a Swiss Army knife to me in the summertime. Some people might feel it's heavy. It's not like a completely fruity fragrance or a completely citric or aquatic or something like that. But it's truly a Swiss Army knife because it can accomplish most of what you might do. You could take it to the cookout and you might have a little romantic touch, but you're still classy, you're still fun, you're still airy. But then it can go into that date night, obviously. And so for me, I'm an iris lover, and this is my way of being able to make an excuse to wear iris during the daytime, during the summertime, near the water, whatever, because it's just a much more softer, airy, watery touch to the iris style DNA. And honestly, Valencia Uomo Intense, I got this for $13, and typically online I've seen it anywhere between 30 to 60 in its heyday. So I got it. It was a TJ Maxx pickup, and I'm
Okay.
shocked at not only how accurate it is. I would call it like a 9.5 out of 10 in terms of closeness to DNA and performance. Easily 6+ hours. For me, it goes 8. So it's like it's a hard sell to get the real thing because it's not really necessary. You've seen guys like TLTG and other guys talk about Valencia Uomo Intense, and it's just, again, beautiful, slight seductive, slight playful, but extra classy fragrance with a
Okay.
lot of texture, and it just goes super hard in the paint for me during the summer.
Okay, then. Hey, you know what? That sounds awesome. I have a rendition of that through Dappers, and it hits such the mark with that hint of spice that's on it. I like that's the difference between the Coral Fantasy, the regular EDT, and then
Hmm.
that Omo Intense, the spice. I think it's the cardamom in there that gives it that little sweet, nice spice to it. I like that. I like that. I like that, SB. Well, that was a good one. My first one will be from day three. Escandalo. Ooh, can I pull it up? Can I pull? Okay, boom. Let me go. Can we get it? Can we get it? Can we get it? There we go.
That's
Escandalo.
old batch.
Dude, dude,
That's the
this is
old
the
bottle
first one.
presentation.
This is the old bottle presentation. Now look, this thing is beautiful. It invokes the story that he was speaking about. Let me let y'all know it got guava, lime, ginger up top, rose de mai in the middle with a daisy and jasmine sambac. And then it got orsonox, that's a Mons special blend with vetiver and argar wood, right? This truly evokes that summer night. You on the beach, you're dirty dancing. This fragrance does it. The reason why I like it so much is that guava is really there. It gives this tropical feel. I feel myself barefoot in the sand just dancing. You know what I'm saying? With the wife or whatnot. This is beautiful for summertime. It's beautiful for now. Warm heat, cold heat. It's almost like a to me, I think you could do this all 4 seasons, except real cold weather. I wouldn't do it, but this is just a beautiful composition that channels that summertime vibe. So, with that being said and done, check out day three. Escandalo, beautiful.
Excellent, excellent.
So
Hey,
let's see
hey,
what
I,
you
I,
let,
I,
let
I
me
think that's a killer fragrance. My wife has it, and I steal it often.
see. You know what, man? Hey, look, when I first smelt it, I fell in love. I fell in love. Bonnie was my first, and I always talk about Bonnie, so I did not put it in this rotation, which it deserves to be in this rotation. But the minute I smelled Escandalo, I was like, oh my gosh, is this a fight here? So Escandalo fit the topic of discussion.
Well, I'll never argue with a day 3 fragrance. So, um, I love what they did with that fragrance. I love the guava. I love the energy of that fragrance. It's fun. It's playful. It's super projective and has a monstrous sillage, but in the most finesse way possible. So it's a juicy fragrance too. It really is so lively, and that lush green citrus vibe is, or that lush guava lime style DNA is just killer. Here you go,
Yes,
honey. No, you can come in. We're filming, but you can come in.
it's no problem.
But anyway, yeah, that's a
Yeah, the
banger,
ginger.
absolute banger.
Yeah, yeah, that ginger is woo. That ginger is pronounced too. It just gives it just the right a hint of it's just beautiful, beautiful. I ain't gonna make love to the track. I ain't gonna make love to the track, people.
Excellent.
Let us know the second one that you're thinking of, my guy. What is the
Okay,
second one in your lineup?
so I'm thinking, before I just go balls to the wall on my choices,
Mhm.
I want to look out for the guys because this fragrance early on in my journey, I couldn't believe I found it. Uh,
Okay,
it's another rack store, but it
okay.
is not a clone or dupe. But I remember the first time I smelled this, I discovered my love for tea. Um,
Ooh,
and I just, some fragrances, it's like Wulong Cha, for instance. When I first smelled that fragrance, I didn't know if I would wear it, but how it made me feel outer worldly, meaning I didn't think about fragrance and use case when I smelled it. I thought about how it made me feel, which was at perfect peace. You know,
okay,
it was
okay.
peace and tranquility in a bottle, and it was the best of the earth, the best that the earth had to offer. That was the sense I got from a fragrance like Wulong Cha. But this one takes the tea style DNA and makes it way more playful, way more
Mm,
easygoing. I do think there's a luxury upscale feel to it, but in the most casual way possible. But I caution from calling it a upscale casual. I would just call it a very fun, slightly therapeutic, but super airy, beautiful summer fragrance. I think it could be unisex. Matter of fact, I'm looking on Fragrantica. It does list it as a unisex. This is forest green, slightly synthetic. It's like almost like
okay,
a candied forest, is how I would describe it, with black tea and fig. So this
okay.
is Banana Republic's Vintage Green 78.
Ooh,
And I
okay,
gotta
okay.
tell you guys, I collected the whole Banana Republic line just to make my rounds early on in my fragrance journey to really see what the appeal was. I like their presentations. They're very simple, kind of the Apple experience of fragrance buying. It's cheap, it's easy to use, it's not hard to find, And I just remember this one is the only one out of the entire line that was full bottle worthy to me. Everything else, a good 30 ml, just to have it was kind of cool. But this one I had to get a big bottle. The projection is beautiful. It's not really a sillage fragrance. The longevity is very moderate. You might be lucky to get a strong 3-4 hours. But this is the type of fragrance that the opening is so beautiful. You really don't mind throwing it in the dash of your car. And especially since it's so cheap, you just trigger the heck out of this constantly. Hit yourself with 10 sprays, wait 6 hours, hit yourself with 10 sprays, wait six
Uh,
hours, hit yourself with another 10, and
oh,
have a
oh.
blast. This fragrance is just, man, I love fig. It's hard to find fig fragrances that I love enough to wear, and this one is one of them. And I think it's because the tea knocks it down, the green notes knock it down, and it's just, oh man, it's so there, but so it dances. It's 1,400 reviews on Fragrantica with a 4.3 out of 5. So if that says anything, green leaves, bergamot, mandarin orange, green tea, fig, jasmine, magnolia, vetiver, musk, and cedar. Love the musk and vetiver in the base because I think it makes it more complex than it should be. I think that's why it has a surprising transition to me. But yeah, the white florals, fig, green tea, citrus. I mean, that's
Great.
summer in a bottle. So
Sounds great.
I'm absolutely blown away what they did with this. And to this day, when we talk fragrances under about the $30 price point, You won't find very many fig fragrances that really catch my eye at that level. And it's hard to find tea forward fragrances as well. You see oolong tea, you see black tea, silver mountain water, stuff like that. But this is green tea, and you really get
Yeah.
that. It complements the green notes in the bergamot. Such a good fragrance, guys.
What a banger. What a affordable banger. I appreciate that. I like that. I really feel that that is something that needs to be in the arsenal. And I like the way you could refresh, keep revisiting that opening after 4 to 6 hours. That's the fun about it. You don't always have to have a beast mode fragrance, people. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to have that fragrance that's going 20 hours strong. You don't have to have that, right? So I love that you brought that fragrance out. That is a dope fragrance. Once again, y'all don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it. Well, while we're talking about wonderful fragrances, here's another one that I picked up. Now, this fragrance totally invokes Puerto Rico. If you
Okay.
guys ever visited Puerto Rico, just the feel of the atmosphere, the wind, the smell, and think of it, summertime. We're talking about summertime vacation, y'all. Something that invokes that summertime. Let me hit y'all with this: citrus, mango, pina colada, marine notes, rum, vetiver, cedarwood, amber, tonka bean, vanilla, and a tobacco where you're relaxing and you're puffing a stogie. Bahama Mama in one hand, stogie in the air other, and the marine winds is just blowing. The fragrance I would like to bring to you guys tonight is genre when in Puerto Rico. OMG. Now I'm gonna hit it with the stick. You see the distribution, y'all. Just a fun, fruity, sweet, loving fragrance. This fragrance reminds you of, you remember those ices that the lad man be on the horse. I mean on the, in the hood. Yeah, everybody been in the hood. Don't even play with me like that. He's on the bike. He got the ices. He hits the ices right. He put your favorite blue, red, whatever on there. You like, oh, I want pina colada. He put a little bit in there, and you got that cool icy. You know what I'm saying? You got that frozen. This invokes it with that beautiful pina colada. OMG. Summer bunnies are here. You are going to love this fragrance. It is a transport fragrance that puts you in a place of vacation, relaxation, weather, and tranquility.
Mm.
Cruise certified. Once again, I like to bring y'all to genre when in Puerto Rico.
Now, is that I had a hard time finding it on Fragrantica. Is it on there?
I don't see it on Fragrantica, but if you go on Louisiana aroma.com and type in when in Puerto Rico, go under Google and type in genre GENRE. When in Puerto Rico, it should show perfume. Hit that, and it'll take you directly to it. And oh
Okay.
my God, y'all, this is a divine fragrance.
It's sold out, so people are loving it.
Yeah. Yes, it's beautiful. Man, the citrus mango pina colada. Oh my God. And the rum. It's like you're playing limbo. You know what I'm saying? The music is playing. You got on your Hawaiian shirt, man. It is just fun. It is just fun. So I'm telling you guys, check that out if you can. He always has his windows open. When in Puerto Rico invokes summertime energy.
And where did you find out about that fragrance?
Uh, through genre. Genre has an opening window where he's not he doesn't sell the fragrances all through the year. He has opening windows, I think, every quarter, and he has his own renditions of fragrances and some inspirations. and I'm on the alert list. So when
Mm,
he has an opening window, he let us know, hey, look, I'm coming out with fragrances in this month or whatnot. And I went ahead and ordered, and it was amazing, man.
sick.
Amazing.
I just
Yeah.
put it up on the screen at
Hmm.
louisianaaroma.com. That's where you guys can find it. So turn on the notifications to be notified if you're interested in checking that out. It is an extrait, so it looks like it'll be dancing on your skin. And yeah, man, that sounds like a heater. I'm interested in that one for sure.
My God, I'm telling you, SB, this one, hey, you will not lose. And I'm telling you, just quality, quality. This thing lasts on your skin like I think I clocked after 6 hours. I stopped clocking, to be honest with you, because it's just so damn good. You know, I'm basking in the glory of the fragrance. But check it out when you guys get a chance. Sign up and check it out. What's your next
Absolutely.
one, SB? What's your next
Absolutely.
one, my
Okay, so
brother?
round 3. I had to bring the test strips out for this one because I want to smell it,
Uh-oh.
you know.
Okay.
This fragrance is a new applicant for my collection, and
Okay.
love it first sniff. Think of summertime, I think of citrus.
Ooh.
Baskets and baskets and baskets of citrus. But a lot of times when you deal with that, you get the playful side a lot. You get an overdose of playful citrus. You think of fragrances like Imagination, think of Tygar, you think of Elysium. You know, that's cool and all. It smells expensive. Get the citrus basket. I like the Elysium because the vetiver still keeps some cojones under the fragrance. But what about when what I always think to myself when I smell those fragrances, and no shade to anybody because I know grown men who wear those fragrances and I've worn those fragrances. But I've found myself saying sometimes with those DNAs, what would that look like on a 30-year-old man, a 40-year-old man, a 50-year-old man? What can separate basket of citrus fragrances from one another in terms of maturity? And I'm about to separate it right here. This is
Ooh.
from the house of Roja Parfums, and this is Harrods.
Oh, you no good, dirty dog, you.
This fragrance, guys, is citrus galore. Okay.
Oh my God.
Citrus galore. And you get so much textural components. It's classified as like a citrus woody fragrance, but it's so much more. Those of you guys who are familiar with Roja knows he puts everything in a fragrance but the kitchen sink. And so this is not only a citrus medley, but then there's woods, there's citrus, but then there's textural components that I really love. You get a deep, rich, lush green texture to it. You get a tart from citrus. You get sweet from citrus. So you have the tart, then the sweet, then the earthiness from woods, and there's almost a grassiness where it actually is transportive. When you can see a place, you see, blades of grass, the sun radiating, baskets of juicy sliced open citrus. It's not really tropical. This is God's green earth, bright, radiant sun, juicy baskets of citrus type of fragrance. So if you're a fan of things like Elysium, Tygar, and Imagination, it's not so much imagination, but it'll capture your imagination. I liken it closer to the Tygar and Elysium DNA because I feel like there's more of a bitter tartness, rininess to those
Okay.
citruses, and it's absolutely stunning of a fragrance. The dry down is very nice. And I'm going to go over the notes real quick here for you. Bitter orange, bergamot, lime, lemon, vetiver, juniper, something I don't feel like pronouncing, musk, violet, cashmere, oak moss, labdanum, geranium, vanilla, neroli, and patchouli. Guys, I really feel like the counterbalance of things like vetiver, juniper, violet, musk, cashmere, oak moss, neroli, patchouli really provide such a spine to citrus basket goodness. And it needs that. It's cool to be playful, But what happens when you want to evoke the feeling of summertime, but still evoke that pronounced signature masculinity with it? You shouldn't have to compensate if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? And so
I
this
agree.
is one that still captures that radiant brightness that citrus provides, but texturally has the backbone to still operate in the veins of a modern fougere almost. Now, it's not a fougere fragrance. Don't quote me on that. It's just, it has the masculinity and the earthy backbone that a lot of fougères have, and so it's pleasant, but it's still grown, and that's why I appreciate this. And it's constantly in my rotation. I absolutely load myself with this bottle, and it's just such a fun fragrance. When you think about tiers and different complexities and maturities and how fragrances make you feel, this just checks more boxes to me. You know,
Yeah.
other fragrances
Yeah.
check some boxes. This is the epitome and apex of that DNA style, just to the utmost. And absolutely love it for summer. If you're into fragrances like Vetiver Sensual, the Tygar, you know, all that, please give this a shot, guys. It is an awesome fragrance that you will just shotgun yourself with. And this, honestly, it's a toss up with this style between this and Vetiver Sensual because I feel like they're very close. This just has more textures to play with, the bitter rininess, you know, the complexity of vetiver, the oak moss, the deep, rich earthiness, the grassiness. But it is very close to Vetiver Sensual, almost in a way that, in some ways, I would almost call Vetiver Sensual like a 9 out of 10 clone of this with a little bit of deviation. But this is a slightly more complex scent. So if you want a more playful version of this, Vetiver Sensual would be a very good alternative. That's one of my favorite vetivers, top 5 vetivers of all time to me. But if you want another elevation of that style, go up to Roja. It'll get the job done.
He's not lying, people. I definitely have that same fragrance, and what I do love about it is the way I don't like. I'm not a vetiver lover, but I do love vetiver sensual. I'm not a vetiver lover, but I do have that fragrance that he just mentioned, and what I do like the way that they do it is that they mix that citrus with that vetiver. And anytime you do citrus with the vetiver and then the woods and the moss and stuff like that, it's amazing. I also appreciate with the wood and the moss, the cedar wood and the moss with that, it gives it that I hate to say it gives it balls.
Yes.
It gives it
It is
that
what it is.
it is what it is. It gives it that I am here. I am Himothy, right? But not to the point where it's just loud and boisterous, but it's perfect. It's perfect, and it has a playfulness, but also a seriousness to it too, right? Like respect your jaw, right? So I love it. I love it. I love it, SB. I love it. And you know what? It's crazy that some of the notes that you was talking about is perfect, and it segues into the fragrance that I would like to bring up. Let's talk about it.
Talk to me.
We're gonna talk about pineapple, red berries, apple up top, cardamom, some coriander. Just think of this, y'all. That's just the top. The mid is Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, magnolia, and jasmine. This is the same. Hey, I've done this with the other ones. You guys seen the notes, right? Base note is musk, vanilla, amber, cashmere, wood, cedar, and moss. The fragrance, y'all, that I would love to bring to you guys that invokes that summertime fling vibe is boom Kajal Lamar. Oh, OMG. This fragrance won't go into story time with y'all, but we could do that another time. But it took me a minute to get it, and one of my guys, T Rizzy, was on my ass about it, pause, to get it. He said, man, you a rose lover, you gonna love this. what I appreciate about this is that pineapple up top, and you have to love rose because it's pineapple, that sweetness with that wonderful rose, and then you got like this musk and vanilla and the amber and all of the
Such a
goodness in the
lush
woods.
fragrance. I'm smelling it right now. Shout outs to Kels for sending me a sample of it. Such a good fragrance.
Wow, this fragrance this is a four season. Wear this in the heat. Wear this in summertime. Wear it in the fall. Wear it whenever. This fragrance definitely touched the summer to me. And it's such an alluring, fresh, fruity fragrance that just draws you in. It draws you in. This fragrance is unisex. A woman can wear this too.
Yeah.
I'm going to just say this though, if you do get it and you like it, you might want to get your wife her own bottle because she's going to shotgun shoot this and
Yeah.
she's going to wear it out and you're going to get upset because there's only a few left. This fragrance embodies a good time, and that rose somewhat is a drop of love, I like to say. It's a drop of that romance a little bit. And I love it.
Absolutely.
And the pineapple is sweet. So it's like, like, hey, this pineapple sweet. Taste these lips. They sweet too. You can just get real wild with this one. You can get wild with it. But this is my fragrance, my third fragrance of that invokes that summertime for me, and that is Kajal Lamar.
Kajal
Beautiful.
Lamar. Yeah, what I love
Yeah.
about that fragrance is, and this is just my take. Um,
Yeah.
you take a fragrance like Mancera Instant Crush, right?
Okay.
And it's a candied, fruity, but slightly luxurious touch. Kajal Lamar elevates the luxuriousness of it and gives it even more weight than something like an Instant Crush. And then dances with the DNA with the addition of that rose note. The rose is pronounced in this, but it's still got that candied luxury feel. It could be Corella Deville's fragrance, even, just some luxurious woman that is just radiating with beauty. And then for guys, just a fun, super upscale, luxurious, playful luxury is what I like to call it. If you're a fan of an Instant Crush style, but you want like a different elevation in terms of quality, in terms of luxury, and also just get the deviation with the rose as well. It has that kind of petal, musky, slight powdery texture, like you could feel the skin of the rose petals type of rose on it. And man, absolute banger, absolute banger.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And what I do want to say is something that is very pronounced with that pineapple that I forgot to mention is that red berries up top. So you
Totally.
smell that pineapple and those red berries. That's what gives it that fruity yum yum. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily candy, but fruit sweetness. So yeah, it's a banger. It's definitely a banger. What is your next fragrance, my guy? Talk to me. I'm
Fragrance number
listening.
4 is no stranger to my channel.
Uh-oh.
However, it's been a while since we've talked about it, and when I look at it, it evokes something that many of my summertime fragrances don't, which is the sky.
Mm,
When I think of summertime, I think of a breeze, a fresh, airy breeze. And this fragrance is special to me. It's a clone. You guys have heard
okay.
me say it. It's better than the OG to me. I actually wouldn't even recommend the OG per se for summer for me, but this one I would. This is like what I would call a white suede, violet leaf, and mineralic. This
Oh, dude.
is Emir Celestial.
Oh, oh, oh. He's shooting, y'all. He's shooting. He's shooting.
And Guys, couple things that are important to say about this fragrance. Number one, it's better than Ganymede. Number two, a lot of
Ooh.
people are intimidated by Ganymede because it just drives the mineralic earthiness down your throat, whether you like it or not. But what this does is quiet down the elemental side of that kind of metallic mineral rock airiness, quiets it down and pushes up floral. It elevates and makes the violet leaf the star of the show. Violet leaf is kind of like a cousin to amber, or a cousin to iris or a lavender. It's slightly sweet. It comes with a slight powderiness, but it also gives a gust of air into a fragrance. And so when you add that with the clean white suede feel, which is, to me, is basically leather stripped of its animalics. So you get masculine, clean, and it comes with cleanliness, masculine, clean touches without the animalics. And then the mineralic, obviously. I always tell people this fragrance feels like you died and went to heaven and you're awaiting at the gates. It even looks like the pillars on the gates of heaven. You're awaiting the judgment call and you're hoping you made it because you're sitting on the clouds, laying on your back, the breeze is going, and you just smell the elements in the air, and it just smells so divine. It's outer worldly. And you're like, if this is what heaven smells like, I don't want to walk away from it. It's nice because it doesn't go into citruses and fruits. It's not a woody type of fragrance or anything like that. It's different. I call it like an angelic air, with the slight sweetness. When you think about a fragrance like Eros or Gucci Guilty Elixir, you get a very airy, pillowy, cloudy, cottony experience with a dash of powdery sweetness. And that's a cool texture, right? It's not aquatic, it's not citrus, it's not woody, it's not earthy green. To me, it's outer worldly. You are in the sky, in the clouds, but it's also luxurious due to the suede. The suede is really what grounds the fragrance, but it's not a traditional masculinity. It's like the best the earth has to offer, but you can't find this in the ground, if that makes sense. And so it's almost like, picture this, guys, the levels of the earth. You have violet leaf, which comes from the earth. You have suede, which comes from something on the earth. And then you have the sky notes, that pillowy, cloudy, musky, slight sweetness type of feel. So it's almost like ground to sky in terms of its textural presentation. I really think a fragrance like this revives the Ganymede DNA because so many people are on the fence about it, especially for people under 30 that encounter this fragrance. It can kind of be so different that it's you just might not know what you're going to do with it or might be uncomfortable with it. But the violet leaf grounds it. It also has saffron. It also has mandarin orange. It has Chinese osmanthus. It has immortelle. So it's a very white floral experience with this mineralic and suede feel. And it is just awesome. I tell people if I could buy 5 bottles of it, I would. But when I think summertime, this is when I want to be dressed up a little bit. I'm not as playful, but I'm just as presentable and airy. And so this is more what I would say a slight serious tone to summertime, but you get all of the elemental earthy textures that you would get in other fragrances that might be fruity or citric or whatever. And so you still feel like you're outside. You still feel like you're on a cloud. It still puts you in that vibe in a different, fresh, innovative way to me. And the Ganymede DNA is honestly something that when you smell it, it's very rare you'll ever come across that DNA profile again in perfumery because it's just not really a common DNA that people work with. So I absolutely love this. 20, 30 bucks. I'd have 5 bottles of this if I could, stocking stuffer it to my closest 5 friends. And for summertime, this does something for me that nothing else in my collection does.
Okay, then. Well, you know what? I agree with you, and I have it as well. What I will say about this, man, I'm somewhat almost there with you. In my opinion, I believe that this is like the light version. Like you said, this is the light version. It takes away, it kind of brings down that leather. Kind of brings down that the mineralic note in it, and it boosts up the floor, right? I say that this is perfect for warmer weather if you would like, but me preferably in my preference, I like this in the warmer or like mild weather, and for the cooler weather, I do like Ganymede. I like even Bois Imperial from Essential Parfums.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that that one is a more it's around about 80 bucks on discounters.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps it. It's like this is light, Bois Imperial is middle, and then you're talking about you want to ramp up that leather, you want to ramp up those mineralic notes, then you go ahead with Ganymede. This is awesome for right now, is because it allows you to wear it in the warmer weather. So nice, nice, man.
Yeah,
I'm,
and I always,
I,
what were you saying?
no, I said I'm not gonna hold you on that. You're absolutely for the warmer weather. I'm with you on that. For the
Yeah,
warmer
and
weather,
I
yeah.
always tell people this, man. What you really just need to know about the Ganymede is just that if you've ever smelled Ganymede and you're intimidated and you're like, I don't know. Because you also have to remember the sillage and projection of that fragrance is nuclear, in a low key way. It's like low key extra loud, especially the extrait. So if that DNA is very intimidating for you, Celestial commercializes it and makes it super palatable. If you love Ganymede like us, Ganymede is like amazing. I have it as well in my collection in a travel spray. So whenever I want to hit a home run, I'm going to go to Ganymede for sure. But for non-Ganymede DNA lovers that still want to like it, Celestial is a great ladder to just get in that door and have that difference of DNA in your collection while not feeling uncomfortable wearing Ganymede. Because I do know for some people it's quite odd, and it's definitely an expressionary piece. Let me say that it's you got to be really comfortable in your own skin, and even then, out of 10 guys in a room, maybe 3 or 4 will absolutely love it, but the other guys might not care for it. And so it's artistic in perfumery to me. And it's a more artful piece. So that's another aspect to it as well that can make it challenging to get into if it just doesn't speak to you. But it will speak to you or not. You know, it's one of those polarizing fragrances where the moment you smell it, you'll know if you love it or not. But early on in your fragrance journey, it might be very challenging because it will be nothing like you've ever smelled before. But I absolutely love it.
Agreed. Well said. Well said, SB. Well said. Y'all, I'm gonna bring y'all a fragrance where most of us love this DNA. Silver Mountain Water, right? You
Mm.
guys are familiar with it. You know how it smells. You know it gives that watery. It's great that he spoke on getting me that metallic note, that Silver Mountain Water is just, oh, right? We all love it, right? Most of us do. I won't speak for everybody. Most of us do. But let's just say you don't want to smell that. You don't want to spend that Silver Mountain Water money, but you want to get something that's in that DNA house, but it's a beast. And it's wonderful for right now. The fragrance that I would like to recommend to you guys that you guys already know is Armaf Sillage. Ooh, can y'all see it?
Gosh. Okay.
Can y'all
Nice.
see it? Can y'all see it? This fragrance is absolutely wonderful. This was my scent of the day. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Oh, and yeah, you can shotgun shit this, but be careful because it is a beast. You don't want to go too much, it's a beast. But what I love about it, it does have that. It doesn't say it in there in the note breakdown, but it does have a tea note.
It
You
does.
smell that fresh herbal tea note with that freshness. It doesn't say it's a marine note in it, but it is. If you smell it, I'm telling you guys. And then the dry down I love about this, it got this musk to it. It got the musk to it. But before you even get all through that dry down, it has that touch of violet. And if you guys love violet, it has that violet note in there. You get all this goodness in there, right? It's almost therapeutic, aromatherapy. This fragrance works. It smells like you're on the beach and you smelling water, but you got that tea and it's just like you're in a zen moment. This is a stress reliever, y'all. Wear this fall. Not necessarily winter, but you can if you want to. Spring, summer, this works. So, why I love this is because it gives me a zen moment. I ain't gonna lie, man. It does have bergamot, lemon, and Quran, black Quran, and lime, and the ginger in this. The ginger, you can smell the ginger. It stands out, right? And the reason why it also pushes out so much, why this pushes out stronger than Silver Mountain Water.
It does.
Anybody that say it doesn't is a liar. Is because this is heavy ambroxan in this. You could tell, if you're used to ambroxan, you could tell. But that's what put this on beast mode. I do not suggest shotgun sugar this, but you can be a little bit heavy on the trigger though. Believe me, I can almost guarantee that if somebody get a waft of this on your skin, they're gonna compliment you. They're gonna want to talk to you and ask you what you're wearing. It gives off a fresh, ozonic feeling.
Heavy.
Thank you guys, and I just wanted to bring to you guys our mauve Sillage, inspired by Silver Mountain Water.
Fragrance Apprentice came out as a former member of, or as a former employee of Creed, and said that this smells more like Silver Mountain Water than Silver Mountain Water today. So that should tell you something. It's an absolute beast of a fragrance. Great choice, and I like that choice because it's a utility fragrance. You can wear that every day if you want to go for that. Clean, musky, fresh, citrus, but it's got a lot of character too, which is hard to find when you're looking for everyday fragrances, is you still want to be signature to some extent. So there's texture going on in that just elevates it above a typical freshie with charm to me.
I agree, man. I agree. So
Absolute
tell me,
banger.
man, I am so interested on your final pick of the night. Talk to me, man. I'm interested.
Well, I'll tell you
I'm
who's
in-
not interested. It's the audience, because as I was trying to load it up so that I was prepared for it, I actually showed it. So let's just go straight into it. From the house of Day 3, you didn't show it, so I will. Bonnie.
thank you, but that's my brother. You see that?
Yeah. Bonnie, guys, there really isn't much to say other than go buy it. You know,
He ain't lying. He ain't lying, y'all. He ain't lying.
I don't want to talk about notes for how I feel about this fragrance.
Yeah, I'm not doing.
This somehow captures like a very white floral airy approach to the tropics in a way that makes you feel like, I'm going to give you the picture because this is exactly what this fragrance smells like. You just touched down in Maui and your hotel is booked. You're doing like a 7-day staycation and you drive to your hotel. You are in the most expensive hotel ever. Absolute luxury. food out on a platter. They're walking you through the front door. And anyone who's been to Hawaii knows that there's this kind of almost San Diego-ish type of dew and airiness. And it's like the ocean breeze meets the airy wind meets the earthiness. And yet the hotel is fragranted with florals and some sort of luxury signature scent that only the hotel carries. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it's got this almost, it's got that expensive hotel smell. You know, picture a hotel that's just super luxurious. All the windows are open. And so the air is just running through this hotel. You get gusts of white florals, gusts of citrus, gusts of rose. It's just a tropical feel that isn't sunscreeny. I call it the expensive luxury hotel in Maui because Maui seems to have, you know, the exotic fruits and all that stuff. So there's slight sweetness and white florals all in the air. I remember my wife and I went to Maui for our vacation or for our honeymoon, and there's just fruit everywhere. There's so much fruit in Maui, exotic fruit. You know, you're getting guava, you're getting dragon fruit, you're getting star fruit, you're getting pomegranate, you know, stuff that you don't really get here. And they have corners on each street corner. They have a little like wooden pantry cabinet, and it's free exotic fruit. The locals stuff it with fruit that falls off the trees, and you can just go in it and grab fruit. And it's customary to leave a tip in there just for the locals or whatever. But on paper, it's free. You can just go in there. And so you can go and get guava. You can go and get bananas. You can go and get pineapple. You can get whatever you want. And so that's what I think about. You get into a hotel and there's platters of fruit everywhere. But what you're smelling is like a luxury, sweet, rosy, white floral scent with so much musky air from the ocean and the breeze and the dew from the grass through there. I love it because it's not your typical tropical scent. It has a heavenly airiness to it. And that's what I think separates it. Now, normally with a scent profile like this, it's not beast mode. It doesn't have sillage. Being airy, you're taking the fragrance in the air and letting it go. Michael Paul's an absolute beast because the way he was able to make this extrait really feel like an extrait while being such a gentle, delicate, luxurious scent is nothing short of miraculous. This fragrance goes and it goes and it goes and it goes. This bottle is actually my wife's, but I steal it. It's just the way that it has to go. On my wife, it smells absolutely incredible, perfectly unisex. And that's because of the muskiness, the airiness, the aromaticness to it. It's got amber in it. Guys, you want luxury hotel in Maui in a bottle that has monstrous performance. This is a whispering nuclear fragrance. It's nuclear in its sillage and projection in a whispering way.
It's a beautiful
so
fragrance.
everybody's going to smell it, but they're going to smell it in that way where it's like, who, what, when, where, why? What, you know what I mean? It's that soft female finger saying, get over here. You know, that type of scent profile. It just, oh man, this fragrance has serious draw to it. And I'll read you some of the notes. So top notes, we have mango, bergamot, mango tree, and wild orange. Middle notes, we have coconut, magnolia, jasmine, papaya, white musk, and sugar cane in the base. And so, man, it paints the picture here. The subtlety of fruits is like a light mango, orangey, bergamot experience. Some people call it a mango fragrance. And I do too sometimes, depending on what kind of video I'm making, because it is a mango option. But It's so much more than that because you don't really get a ton of mango. It's just like a mostly white floral, airy, musky experience that's kind of soft brushed in coconut, similar to how iris kind of can brush over a fragrance and glue it all together. It's mostly white florals and musk, and then brush of coconut, tiny little sprinkles of these mango, orange, bergamot characteristics that are so tucked in the background that it's more about the white floral, coconut, musky, airy type of experience.
You're not gonna get tired of that fragrance.
Ever.
He said you could, yeah, you could take it on a vacation. You and your wife are sharing that, or your girl, whoever it is, right? And y'all not gonna get tired. I mean, it just smelling each other, smelling yourself, and it's just so, like I said, it's luscious. So well put, man. I'm glad you put it out there, man, because I was feeling bad. I didn't put my one out there, and you did. So thank you,
If you
thank
want
you.
to feel, if the reason it's so versatile is because you take a fragrance like Lin Sumi, right? And that's the fragrance I tell people that if I had a natural skin scent that I wanted to always smell like, it would be Lin Sumi, right? Bonnie is what you wished the air smelled like all the time. If Mother Nature smelled like this all the time, you could wake up to this and smell this in the air and feel like you're in Maui all the time, year round. You'd be totally fine with that, and that's why you never get tired of it, because it's such a soft, whispering, luxurious masterpiece that it's not a preference fragrance. It's just like, well, yeah, this just totally makes sense. This guy just got back from vacation, and and not in your typical vacationy, tropical, coconutty type of, no. This is angelic air in a bottle. And when I say air, please don't take that as like linen, cottony, soapy. No. White floral, white floral with a touch of purple and pink florals, luxurious air, muskiness, a little bit of citruses tickling in there. It's just hotel suite VIP in a
Hell
bottle.
yeah.
And then it
Hell
has a
yeah.
little tiny, like, expensive oils that might be used to give you a massage in that vacation. You know, you could imagine the room, like your massage table is on the deck, so it's outside, and kind of the what they want the room to smell like when you walk in there and just feel serenity. It has that type of vibe too. So anyway, I digress, man. Incredible fragrance.
It is. That it is.
Take us home, Kicks.
Now I'm gonna take us home. I'm gonna take us home. I wanna put everybody in the mind frame of Herbapora, Zherzhov, Herbapora. Some people love it, some people hate it. Some people are on the fence about it. Some people are still like, I like it, but it's just too playful, it's too fruity. I felt the same way. But there was a diagnosis to this little bit of irritation. And that diagnosis, that cure, that put you in that wheelhouse, but with a nice little twist, Montale Herbal Aquatic. Herbal
Mm.
Aquatic. So, the spin on this, it lets you touch and be in the room of a herbapora. But the difference is you're going to get mint and green notes with it, with the marine notes. That alone with a little bit of spice, because it has a citrus bergamot in it. It's to die for. So if Herbapora was a little too playful for you, but you still want that fresh fruitiness, but with a twist of freshness, not necessarily mentholic, but that mint and that green tea, because there's a little bit of tea in here. Green tea, herbal tea. This is the trick. And also, this is beast mode. This last. This lasted, it was like 8 hours. I got 8 hours off of my skin, okay? This invokes and embodies vacation. It invokes and embodies bonfire, picnic. Oh, yeah. Kickback. Oh, yeah. Drinks with a Bahama mama in the. This is nice. And believe me, whoever you with, they can even break that barrier of that 3 feet of space. I promise you, they're gonna be like mosquitoes. They're gonna be all on the back of your neck, like, get up, you gotta win one, kill one. It's that good. It's that good. It's this that good. And believe me, you're gonna want them to go ahead and give you a little nibble or bite. If you want a guarantee of a Herbal fun time, vacation in the sun, summertime, let's have a little bit of fun. R. Kelly before the jail time, you're going to want to have to deal with this. Herbal Aquatic by Montale. Treat yourself, don't cheat yourself. You
That
got
fragrance looks awesome. Those notes look
hell yeah.
killer. And I'm glad you brought that up because I'm not very experienced with Montale
Okay.
yet. So that might be a good
Yeah.
starting point.
Let me just hit this. It has mint, herbal notes, Caribbean bergamot, sage. It has in the mid notes, C notes, lotus, green tea. It has caramel, that sweetness, caramel, the sweetness, papyrus. You find some of that beautiful papyrus and Isimiyaki fragrances, right? So it gives you some depth and some grownness, right? It's not all, it's a little grownness to that. Then you got an Australian sandalwood, but because it was mixed with this and Australian sandalwood, still that creamy woodness that brings it a little heft to it with vanilla sugar and finish off with an amber. How can you lose? How can you lose? You can't lose with this. Summertime? Summertime? Oh my God. Oh my God. You could get Jada when she was younger with this. With this. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, y'all, check it out. Check it out. I ain't going to make love to the track, but this was my five. Y'all heard SB5. SB, is there anything you want to leave us with, brother?
No, man. I would just say with my lineup, just to give you guys price points, the Valencia, $13, the Vintage Green, 15-20, the Celestial, 25-30, the Harrods, very expensive. Don't get it online. Find a friend. Do what you
Yeah.
got to do. You know, you might have to consider a smaller size or something like that. It is up there.
Okay.
Bonnie is like 155 unless you get the discovery set, then you'll get a $40 voucher. So I always tell people there's no reason why you don't get the discovery set, because you get to try everything, right? And then you get to purchase the fragrance and cash that. Basically get a free travel set. So most of these are pretty affordable, and yeah, you can find them pretty much anywhere. I don't think any of these are hard to find except for maybe the Valencia. But again, I would recommend getting Valentino Uomo just because it's so nice. But if you're in a TJ Maxx and you know, this is like one of those Hall of Fame TJ Maxx fragrances where it's like if it's in there, people are snatching it up. You know, this ain't just laying around all the time, the Valencia. But you could get it on Fragrance Buy, I think. But the cheapest you're going to get it is in a TJ Maxx for 13. I think online they're still trying to charge between 20 and $40, but yeah, most of it's accessible.
Okay, then. Hey, when you said that, let me go ahead and let everybody else know as well. So for the Bonnie, the day three Bonnie is going to be 155, like my guy said. Go ahead, get that discovery kit so you could truly find out what you like and get that $40 credit back, right?
You were
So you can
referring
go
to the
ahead.
Escandalo too, right?
Oh, the Scandalo. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Thank you. The Scandalo, that's what I'm talking about. I have a Scandalo is 155. And then, by getting the discovery kit, you get a credit back. But that discovery kit allows you to really truly pick what you like and what resonate with you perfectly. Don't go off of what I say or what SB said. That's our opinion. Is our honest opinion. Use it as reference or entertainment. The next one, the When in Puerto Rico, that's a little bit harder to find. It depends on if he has it in his open window to purchase. This roughly run around about $60. Yeah, around about like $60 because it's original, but it's to die for. You're not gonna believe me. You're not going. A little go a lot of way. Go a long way for that fragrance. So I got this bottle. I'm still spraying it. I shotgun sugar, and look, I haven't even put a dent in it like that yet, and it lasts. Okay. The Kajal Lamar retail is crazy. I think retail they try to hit 180, but if you go on Joma Shop or you find a sale, you can get it for 110 and slightly a little bit under. Sometimes you can find it
Mm-hmm.
for 100.
Yeah.
If you find it for under 110, grab it. You will not miss out on it. And if you just need to check it out before committing to a bottle, go on Scent Split. Decant it. Go on get a decant. Go on Scent Split, Scent Angels. There's a lot of decanters that got this
Oh
where you
yeah.
can try it out and put it on your skin and double check, right? To see if you want it. And last but not least, Montale Herbal Aquatic. You can find this on discounters for like $70. $70. It can get up there to 90. A lot of times they sell out, but it's not hard to find. They're still out there floating. So check your discounters. Go through a discounter to get it. You won't lose. You will appreciate this fragrance, and believe me, you'll be reaching for it more often than not. So, with that being said and done, hey SB, leave us with your. How can people contact you? I'm gonna definitely leave it in the description. But how can people contact you, man?
Absolutely. So, I'm at the Scent Bubble. You can look me up now. The algorithm knows what I'm doing. So if you type in the Scent Bubble, you can find me. I don't really go by the Scent Bubble on other social medias. I'm not really trying to build my other socials up as much under the name right now. This is a YouTube exclusive for how to contact me, but all the other ways to find me and reach out to me are in the descriptions of all of my videos. So just at the Scent Bubble on YouTube.
Okay, and you guys already know about me, but I will definitely be leaving information in the description. SB, once again, brother, thank you for joining me on this wonderful little quick little bang bang shoot 'em up, man. I appreciate it, dude. This was been a true pleasure, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey guys, with that being said, we appreciate y'all. Again, we'll list all these fragrances in the description below, and we hope you get your guys' nose on them. Put in the comments what you've been rocking for this summer, as well as what your thoughts were on our picks and different things like that. But until next time, we hope y'all have a blessed rest of the week. Kicks SB signing out, man. Take care, guys.
Yak Mob. Peace.